Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to join us on this August town hall. I am insanely surprised that it is already going to be September. As a matter of fact, I talked myself into not believing my calendar the other day. So there's that. But thank you for taking time out of your Friday before a holiday weekend to join us for our town hall. We're just going to go ahead and jump right into it. And this town hall is going to be all AEP related. So the most important things is making sure that you are ready to go for AEP. And that part of that is making sure that you're ready to sell. So the best thing that you can do for yourself right now is finish up any looming certifications that you may have hanging out there. Get those completed, get all your supplies ordered. Make sure that you have access to online enrollment tools. And I know Brandon's going to echo this next statement. Please make sure that you are not just familiar with our Enrollment Central, but that you're also familiar and set up with carrier-specific enrollment tools. Unfortunately, with technology, not everything works all the time. Currently, we're having issues with the way Aetna reported to our Enrollment Central. So making sure that you know how to use Think Agent is a huge benefit as far as just being able to seamlessly move on with any sales presentations. So that's definitely a big to do if you're used to only using our Enrollment Central. You want to make sure that you have any marketing materials that you're going to need, whether that is carrier-specific documents or things that you have made yourself as leave-behinds for your clients. Make sure all that is ordered, going to be shipped in time, ready to go for you to have a very successful AEP. Start communicating with your clients now. There's a bunch of markets where there's already a good bit of disruption going on. It is so much better if the clients hear it from the agents. They're not going to actively seek out other people to reach out to if you are communicating with them in a quick and efficient manner. So whether that is phone calls, whether that is emails, whether that is snail mail. Honestly, people still like getting written information in their inbox. So please keep all those things in mind while you're communicating. Don't just limit it to one mode of communication. Use as many as you can think of or that time allows to make sure that all your clients are able to receive the communication in the manner that best fits their needs. Appointments and events, you want to make sure that you're scheduled up. And really that starts now. We're less than 46 days out from AEP, the true start of AEP. So ensuring that your events are set up and or filed already, that you have a plan with your in-office or in-home appointments. That is huge. Scheduling out your AEP is going to make you very successful. It makes you very accountable to yourself as well. So make sure that you get that information set up, ready to go. It's just one less thing to worry about in the next 46 days. Make sure that you secure any partnerships. It really goes hand in hand with events. Your local business partnerships, your organic ways of marketing yourself. Make sure all of that is set up, secured, ready to go. Again, the biggest countdown is already starting. So having all this stuff in order is just going to be extremely helpful to a successful AEP. Brandon, anything to add?
No, I really think just the structure, I'll echo you, the structuring your day and making sure that you've got everything blocked out to make sure that you're hitting all of your markers, make sure you're hitting your goals that you've set for yourself for AEP. That's one of the biggest things that I've seen agents have success with is they have the goal, they have it written down, and they go after that. The appointments and the events, those are huge. We have agents that are having lots of success with their events, and they're getting those scheduled uh, in advance, so it's not last minute. They're go ahead and looking a couple months out. Obviously, we're ending August right now. September's coming up. There's fall festivals. There's what strawberry festivals, corn festivals, all these things. Even into October, November, there's festivals going on. So getting in those, branding yourself. I know we're going to talk about that in a minute. I don't want to jump too far ahead, but that's a big piece of getting ready for AEP is just getting all that set up so that you're not last minute scurrying to find activities to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's really just going to help you, especially if you're somebody who also does ACA enrollments as well. Those certifications are getting ready to drop. So making sure that your MA game is 100% on before you start preparing for ACA as well is definitely going to be very beneficial for you. And next is something that we've dealt a lot with. And it's the market disruptions. So really some things that you need to pay attention to is, are all the carriers remaining in your markets? Or are some of them pulling out? If we look at Georgia, we just had a carrier exit end of year. So Sonder, unfortunately, is no longer a carrier in the state of Georgia, and all those clients need to have a new plan before October 1st. That's a big deal. So Sonder, they insured about 23,000 lives. There's a lot of people out there that need help, that need new plans. There are plans in almost every single market that are leaving. And you need to be aware of that. It could be as simple, well, it's kind of a daunting task, to be honest, but if you just compare last year's first look to this year's first look, you will be able to see what plans are staying, which plans are exiting, and then we can have real conversations about, are these plans being crosswalked to their replacement plan, or are these plans truly exiting the market, meaning that your clients have to be rewritten? And there's a lot of that going on. We're going to get into some carrier specific information fairly shortly, but those carrier and plan exits, those are the biggest disruption areas that will affect you, not only your current clients, but also your ability to pick up new clients. If their agents aren't communicating with them, you be the first one to get in front of them and let them know what's going on and how you can help them make sure that they have the best coverage for their needs. Along with exits, new carriers and new plans are coming in, honestly, just as quickly. So be familiar with the new carriers and plans entering the area and refer back to your current book of business. Are there people who are on a plan that's just okay for them because it was the best available? If so, you might want to review their needs with new carriers or different plans that are coming into your area. One of the biggest things, along with entrances and exits, is going to be network issues. And that's probably the hardest thing from an FMO standpoint to help you guys with, because they're so niche within your specific geographic area. We do have a lot of knowledge network wise about a ton of the areas, but sometimes these are more research items for us. So if you're concerned about a network, please give us as much warning that you have a question about a network, or who may be getting dropped from a network, or who a network is potentially adding. Let us know, because we can get the answer, but it's not always as simple as you would think. And that does affect a lot of your client enrollments as to where their doctors are actually going to accept their insurance. So those are probably the three biggest points: entrance, exit, and network issues. You want to make sure that you study up on those well ahead of AEP, and then make sure that you're getting all of the NCC and carrier specific emails. Tons of network information, I guess. Sorry, I completely lost my wording. But tons of network information is given out via email. So make sure that you are set up to receive carrier and NCC emails to the email address that you are using the most. The next is standalone drug plans. There are a lot of changes within standalone drug plans. So last year, WellCare pulled all commissions, even your renewal commissions, but they are still a drug plan that is offered. Drug plans aren't easy to service. I do suggest that you take the opportunity while you're servicing your clients who are on a standalone drug plan to potentially talk to them about the benefits of Medicare Advantage plans. If they've been on a supplement for an extended period of time, they may have seen some rate increases, and it might not be as affordable as it was when they initially enrolled. That person's a great candidate for a new Medicare Advantage plan. Even though Medicare Advantage plans are going more towards the HMO chassis instead of PPO chassis, they are still extremely easy to use, even if the client is traveling. So please keep that in mind while you're reviewing your client's drugs, especially if they're on a standalone prescription drug plan. Use that opportunity to talk to them about Medicare Advantage, and you might be able to substantially lower their cost. And they'll still have the flexibility to travel and do what they're used to doing on their supplement. The next are D-SNP clients. And the biggest change in the D-SNP market is going to be if a client is able to continue to receive their added benefits. And by added benefits, I am talking about the food card, utility card, those flex spend cards. All of those used to be under a value-based enrollment. Wow, Brandon, the words are just not here for me today. That is a shame. It used to be value-based enrollment adds to a Medicare Advantage plan. Those have gone away. So now, even if a person is Medicare and Medicaid eligible, in order to receive those added benefits in the form of a food card, utilities, anything that kind of can be loosely considered to be cash. Over the counter is different, though that is not within that same bucket. But something people would use their bank account on a consistent basis to purchase. Those are all now tied to a chronic illness. So even though the person is Medicaid eligible, they may not qualify to get that food card if they don't have a chronic condition. In large part, most dual eligible clients do have some version of a chronic illness. So you just have to find the right plan for them so that those supplemental benefits are still able to be paid out, and the D-SNP client is getting as much value for their plan as humanly possible. Anybody have any questions or comments, anything that you would like cleared up so far?
Is there any
All
way
right,
we
Miss.
is there any way we can get a list when everything's been settled on all the new Part D plans that are commissionable and who aren't?
It's my understanding that your commissionable plans at current are going to be through Cigna. And we have not heard from Humana yet, but I don't believe that they have any intent of uncommissioning their plans. Everybody else is non-commissionable.
Wow. So United Healthcare is commissionable?
No, they are not.
Okay. And so Cigna is and Humana is,
Yep.
but there's one Cigna that's not commissionable.
That
Assurance.
plan is going away.
Okay.
They're restructuring a little bit, Scott. So according to the rollout that I was at yesterday, both of their plans moving forward will be commissionable plans. It will vary a little bit by geographic area as to whether or not it'll pay full commissions. But we can send you over that information.
Thank you.
Miss Diana, I see you got your hand raised up there.
Yeah, I was just curious about the chronic illnesses. Is there a list of those of what qualifies as a chronic illness?
Yes, and each plan has its own list. So the plan decides what chronic illnesses they will accept. I'm not sure what market you're in, but there are a few carriers who have come out with some really interesting chronic conditions around obesity that are going to meet a lot of people's needs. But your most typical ones are going to be for diabetics and heart patients. All right. The Inflation Reduction Act has changed just a little bit in 2026. So the out-of-pocket drug cost, the max out-of-pocket on a drug plan is going to be $2,100 instead of $2,000. So it went up $100 from last year. The deductible also increased by $25. So the Part D deductible will be $615 in 2026, which is up from $590 this year. And they will still have the payment plan available to them. So one high cost drug allows a person to opt into the prescription drug payment plan. And basically, what that does is it allows them to spread the cost of their max out of pocket throughout 12 months. So they don't have to pay a $700 bill up front. They get to spread that money out throughout the course of the entire year, which makes things a lot more affordable for people who are on those high cost drugs. And it allows people to pick up medications that they would have previously declined. The big thing about that is they don't pay at the pharmacy. They pay at the carrier level. The prescription drug payment plan is organized at the carrier level. It's my suggestion that anybody who is on a high cost drug, you refer them to customer service at the carrier. You might want to make that phone call with them just to make sure that they not only get onto that payment plan, but they also understand how that's going to affect them moving forward and how those payments are going to be obtained by the carrier so that they don't get anything messed up. You guys, please keep in mind, you are able to come off a mute at any point. Voice your questions, comments, concerns. You can also chat them in. Brandon's really good at keeping up on that chat as well.
Courtney, one thing was asked a lot last year, and I, for the life of me, can't remember the answer. Maybe you remember it, but is this something that this payment plan, is that something that they need to set up prior to going to the pharmacy to eliminate misinformation? Because pharmacists, I'm not saying they don't understand this, but we still are trying to figure it out as agents. Is this something that potentially they beneficiaries should do prior to going to the pharmacy, or
So they absolutely can. If they know the cost of their drug ahead of time, they can reach out to the carrier prior to trying to pick up that medication. I think what we see a lot of is most people don't know the cost of their drug, especially, with plan changes year to year. It might be something that was on a tier 2 and got changed to a tier 3 the following year, and their drug cost has changed because of that. So once they're at the pharmacy, if they see that that payment is something that they can't handle, if the pharmacist doesn't know how to help them, then they are able to step away at that point, reach out to their carrier, and get that payment plan set up. And the carrier will take care of that at the pharmacy level so that that payment is made for them. All right. Well, this is just really a recap of how to take advantage of all the opportunities that are out there. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this slide because I do want to get into the carrier specific information we have coming up. But again, if you make your schedule work for you, it's just going to allow you to kind of be that AEP machine. But the biggest thing that I cannot stress enough is every chance you get, make sure that you're branding yourself. Make sure you have your business cards. Make sure you have some paper flyer leave behinds. If somebody doesn't show up for a scheduled appointment, take those flyers that are branded for you and go see if you can get some local businesses to partner with. At every reschedule or no show is an opportunity for you to go find something else that in the long run is just going to add to your lead funnel. We do suggest that you use events to your advantage. The more people you can get in front of at one time, the better off your odds of closing sales are going to be. So whether it's an educational event or a sales event, that's all about you branding you, creating those relationships, and being able to set appointments and potentially close sales in a group setting. Utilize your carrier, broker manager relationships, and especially your FMO partners. The sales development staff here at National Contracting Center is here to help you. Really, every member of our staff is here to help you as much as possible. So if you're struggling, if there's something you used to do that really worked for you and now it's not working for you, give us a call. Let us figure out how we can help you. We might be able to get you involved with your broker managers and get some events on your calendar that are already carrier sponsored. So there's tons of opportunities out there. If you need something, reach out, let us know. We're here to help, and your broker managers feel exactly the same way. I do suggest making cheat sheets so that you know your plans and that information is easy for you to get to, especially the first few days of AEP. It's hard to retain all the information that you just learned, especially across multiple carriers. So cheat sheets are definitely the key. Again, if you see my desk, you'd be like, wow, that's crazy. But I have cheat sheets for everything all over the place. It's just great ways for me to quickly refer to information and get people answers as quickly as possible. Technology is key to making things as simple as possible, whether it's Enrollment Central or carrier enrollment tools. Using technology is going to help you really just not make as many mistakes. The e-apps don't allow you to continue until everything is filled out. The e-apps also make our horrible handwriting very legible. So please keep that in mind. And always ask for referrals every chance you get. Friends, family members, current clients, new clients, even people that you weren't able to help because they are on the best plan for them. Ask everybody for referrals. It is your cheapest lead source with the best close ratio out there. Anything to add, Brandon?
Courtney, I'll just say that going back to the technology piece, if our agents are using Enrollment Central, the Blaze Sync link that's now embedded in Sunfire is a customer intake link that you can send to your customers, and they can input their information, so name, address, phone number. They can also put in their medications, their doctors, their pharmacy, and they can fill out a scope of appointment all through that link, and that is time saving. So if you have new customers that you meet and you want to get them into the system without having to spend 15, 20 minutes going through, now tell me this drug, or tell me this doctor, or is this on this street, or using Google and Sunfire, you can send them that link and they can do that themselves, and then sign the scope of appointment as they're filling that out. It's good for a year once they sign it, so you don't have to rush for it. But that might be something to utilize prior to AEP for either new appointments or following up with customers that you've written in the past is, hey, we're going to meet this fall, but go ahead and just make sure you put your information in, update your medicines, update your doctors, go ahead and sign a scope, and it'll be in the system and ready when we meet. That is a time saver. If you're not using Enrollment Central, I will put in a plug to do that. However, there are other enrollment tools out there. If you only have, say, one carrier and you just want to use that, that's fine. We also have partnered in the past with RetireFlow. It's another customer intake company that helps intake that information into, say, a CRM. It's going to be a monthly fee on that. Sunfire's intake is free. However you want to set it up, anything that you can do, though, as we say, to use this to your advantage, to make you more streamlined, that's going to help you be more efficient this fall. So I'll just put a plug in for any sort of intake link or form that you can use to get that. I don't want to say basic data, but it really is, name, address, doctors, medications, stuff that takes a while to go through. They can do it themselves and use that to your advantage. Miss Diana, you've got your hand up.
Yeah, is that link also in the central platform or just
Yes.
Sunfire? Okay.
Well, no. So Enrollment Central is what we've branded Sunfire. Sunfire, it's the same thing. So Sunfire is the engine that drives Enrollment Central. We just branded it to ourselves. There's typically two enrollment platforms out there outside of the carriers. There's Connecture and there's Sunfire, and we've used both. And so we decided to go with Sunfire to power our Enrollment Central white label, if you call it, but it's the same thing. And yes, ma'am, that it's in the agent profile on the Sunfire platform.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Hey, Marty, you got a question?
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay. I was talking to Chris over at Humana, and he keeps talking about AEP, where they're somehow tying Humana and Sunfire together. Is that done yet? It was supposed to come up a week or so ago.
Yeah, so great question. Humana ran into a few bugs with their new enrollment tool that is Humana specific, and they hope to have a release late next week, early the prior week. So they're trying to get everything worked out for the best user experience possible.
Basically, when we're on your enrollment center or Sunfire, it's the same as being on Humana once they get fired up.
It'll be similar, yeah, but because Humana is branding theirs as a proprietary software, I can't promise you that it will be the same.
Because their enrollment looks totally.
Yeah, the new one's supposed to be way more user-friendly. It's supposed to have some pretty cool features, so I can't wait until they have that live and up and running.
Okay. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome. And Andy, I see your question there. Yes, the MPP can be extended out for the full 12 months. It is all in what that person can afford. So if they're being asked to pay something off in 3 to 4 months and that's not feasible for them, and there's more time within the plan year, they can absolutely extend it out. If there's somebody who had little to no drug costs and then got hit with an expensive med in August, they only have till the end of the year to extend out those payments. So you just have to keep that in mind. It may vary based on the amount of time left within the plan year. Cool. Well, here are some of our bigger updates. Some of them are positive, some of them are not. Please understand that all of these are general. So we have agents in 49 states. Alaska is just way too cold to even pretend like we would ever want to travel there for a rollout meeting, really is what it is. But we had to make these a little bit general. We will see some regional carriers on here that do not cover the majority of the states. If you have a question that is specific to your market, please feel free to come off mute, to chat in your question, or to give myself or any member of the NCC staff a call after this so that we can talk about your specific questions, your specific market, and give you as much information as possible. The one thing that we're seeing from United Healthcare is not only have they gone to a lot of HMO plans, but the majority of those HMO plans are unfortunately bringing back the need for referrals. So you'll want to make sure that when you're presenting a United Healthcare plan to a client, that you are paying special attention to that, and making sure that if it's noted that they are going to need referrals, you are telling them that up front. That's probably one of the more restrictive things that we have seen in an HMO plan for 2026. Anthem is sunsetting in a ton of markets their PPO plans. That means that those PPO plans will need to be rewritten. They are not getting crosswalked to anything else. So I think a really good rule of thumb, since we are talking about multiple markets right now, is if Anthem made a plan non-commissionable in your specific market, you probably want to make sure that that plan is staying or that you confirm its exit. We can confirm the plan exits. You can also reach out to your broker manager if you would prefer, but the PPO plans that Anthem is sunsetting will need to be rewritten. In some markets, even though they have introduced new plans and they have plans that are paying commissions, they will not show in an enrollment platform outside of the Anthem specific enrollment platform. So please keep that in mind. Anthem has had probably the hardest year in 2025 in a bunch of markets, and it's looking like 2026 is going to be a pretty hard year as well for Anthem. Anthem also covers Elevance, WellPoint, and something else that's not going to come to my mind, AmeriGroup. Anthem, Elevance, WellPoint, and AmeriGroup are all underneath of that same branding. So please keep that in mind. Really pay attention to those first looks. You can view those through nccagent.com as well. But there are definitely some shakeups there with Anthem, which is going to lead to a lot of opportunities for people to pick up business. Humana, they do have some plans exiting, but they're going to remain a very stable carrier in a lot of markets. So, look at your Humana first looks. They just dropped within the last, I don't even know if it's been a full week. So make sure that you're taking a look at the Humana first looks. Their commissionable items, their notifications come out on 10/1. So if you're concerned about a plan being commissionable, not being commissionable, with Humana, we will know on 10/1. So that's when they release that information. And Marty, I saw you raised your hand.
Yeah, since you're on Humana, do you know yet when they're gonna have the new 5-star rating? I was kind of looking for an opportunity with 5 stars.
Yeah, so 5 stars are going to come out at the same time, October 1. Sometimes we get a little bit of an advance notice, but that's the drop date for star ratings as a whole.
You didn't heard any rumors?
I have not, no, sir.
Okay, thank you.
And Andy, the UHC PPO clients, yeah, Georgia is seeing a lot of United Healthcare plans go away. They are not being crosswalked, and they will have to be rewritten. So if there's a particular plan number or plan numbers you're concerned about, give me a buzz after the call and we'll go through those specific plans. But yeah, Georgia United Healthcare is going to be a mess as well. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Tennessee, we should get first looks next week. They love to make us wait, but big benefit with them for 2026 is they have opened up ACA to the FMO chain. So not only can you sell their ACA plans, but our very own Danielle Byers can help you service those ACA plans if you move your contract to NCC. She is an insane wealth of knowledge when it comes to ACA. So if it's a market that you're looking to just get into, you're in the Tennessee market, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Tennessee is definitely a carrier that you would want to pick up. And just give us a buzz and we'll help you get all that set up, get your certifications done, and get some product knowledge as well. And who remembers the name HealthSpring? It's a blast from the past, and it is back. And HealthSpring is what we knew as Cigna Healthcare. So Cigna Medicare Advantage is now HealthSpring. And honestly, they're going to pay on their drug plans, and I think they're going to get some market share back. They are looking to push more of their HMO plans, even though some markets will have PPO plans available. Their premier plans, if you will, are going to be HMO plans. You're going to see that across the market. But they are, now that they have been purchased by HCSC, they're looking to get back some market share. So make sure that you're not just overlooking them. They are a carrier that you are going to want to revisit, even if you didn't like Cigna in the past. Some of their plans in some of the larger markets are going to get attention. The caveat to that is network. Make sure you check your network. While they are trying to grow, there still are network disparities out there. But where they have solid networks, their plans are going to get a lot of attention. Middle Tennessee market is one of those markets. Metro Atlanta is another one of those markets. Mississippi is going to get some attention in Missouri as well. So keep those places in mind. Texas has always been a really good market with HealthSpring. So if you want some more market specific information, again, please reach out to your sales development manager and we can go over that. Devoted. Devoted came out to the market less than 5 years ago, but they have made one heck of a splash. This year, they have up to 3 different C-SNP plans in some markets. But those C-SNP plans, they're designed well. Their benefits are going to catch people's eye. And overall, they might be an enrollment winner in some of these markets. They've sat quiet for a couple years with plans that aren't flashy, but very steady. I think these C-SNP plans are going to get them a lot more attention. I said when they initially came out that they would be a 5-year carrier before they really got the attention that they deserved. But I think they have put the time and effort into their plan designs where they should be sustainable. That I say that with my fingers crossed now, right? Because anything can happen. But they should be some really sustainable plans that your clients are really going to appreciate. And they're going to appreciate from more than just a benefit standpoint. Devoted's claim to fame is going to be their customer and agent services. Guys, if you need something, their broker managers are very attentive, as you will find with a lot of carriers. But more than that, if your client calls Devoted, they are going to get insanely outstanding service. I cannot say enough about the Devoted customer service and what all they have put in to making sure that their clients they don't need anything. And as an agent, you have to respect that. You really can get peace of mind in knowing that if your client calls a Devoted line, they're not going to get moved to a different plan. They're not going to get crappy information or no information at all. They're going to get their call answered. They're going to get their call answered very quickly, and they're going to get the proper service to make sure that they have everything that they need within their scope of their plan benefits. So I think that that's an added selling benefit to Devoted. Aetna's been one of NCC's biggest carriers for a while. They have completely pulled out of some markets, not all and not many by any means. But the Maryland market, Aetna did decide that that wasn't a profitable market for them, so they made a decision. There are a few plans in some other markets that are exiting as well. But overall, it looks like Aetna is going to be Mr. Reliable. So I think you're going to see some really steady growth in some of their larger markets, which is going to be very beneficial. So not a bunch of rewrites that we have come to be used to in certain markets. Their plans are staying, their plans are paying. And I think that that is going to be very beneficial, especially for more seasoned agents who are looking to grow their business instead of rewriting it. So big benefit there with Aetna. Now, we didn't cover every carrier, but our next slide is going to show some carriers to watch. Clear Spring, they have 3 states. They have some very interesting plans. They used to be Eon, if that rings any bells. They also used to have an insanely competitive PDP plan that they gave up on. But in Georgia, Illinois, and Colorado, get to know them. Go on our website, look at their first look at some of their plan designs, and then give your sales development manager a call or our recruiting staff a call and get that carrier added to your portfolio if you're servicing any of those 3 states. I think that they're going to be a carrier that, you're not going to do necessarily 100 apps with them, but you can probably find plays for, 10 to 25 clients on their plans. So keep them in mind. Molina Healthcare. You want to talk about some hands-on broker managers. Their regional manager, Robert Freeman, he is out there to earn your trust and help you get some clients on the books. So Kentucky, Mississippi, South Carolina, Ohio, those plans are going to get some attention. They're also one of the Medicaid carriers in Ohio. So big thing for you to watch as far as DSNP enrollments in that state as well. Care Source, again, 2 states, smaller carrier, DSNP plans only in Georgia and Ohio, and they're catching some attention. They also have an ACA product that, again, if you're in that market, you'll want to take a look at. So again, those are smaller carriers, but definitely worth your attention. Zing came out with one of the most interesting CSNP plans in the state of Michigan. It only covers 3 counties, but it is geared solely to people who have issues with their weight. And whether it's a metabolic issue, if it's, if they're just overweight or obese, that CSNP plan, if you're in Michigan, give it your attention. I think those 3 counties are going to see a ton of enrollment. So Zing used to be Lasso. Now it is more geared towards low income instead of people who are, higher income, but it's worth a look. And then we got our pals at WellCare. I don't know. Take a look at them. See what you think. They still have their PDPs. And I think that's where the bulk of their enrollments are going to take place. But I am positive that they are going to have little niche markets in random areas that we don't expect. So take a look. Don't discount them as a whole. But remember that their PDPs are not commissionable. So they might look good, but it's not something that you're going to get paid on. And at this point, guys, I will open this up to your questions, comments, concerns, anything that we can do to help you. It's now your floor, and I'm here to listen.
Courtney, I have a question about the non-commissionables.
Yes, ma'am.
This is my first year doing Medicare, by the way. And when you're saying non-commissionables PDPs, are they still paying commission on their plans or Advantage plans, or is it non-commissionable all across the board for that plan?
So great question. When we look at WellCare, I am talking about their standalone prescription drug plans only. So
Okay.
their standalone prescription drug plans are non-commissionable in every state for every plan. While they may have, go ahead, I'm sorry.
I was going to say, is it just the drug plans that are non-commissionable, or are we looking at other, like the HMOs and PPOs that are non-commissionable as well?
So they might have some of their HMOs or PPOs that are non-commissionable, but they're not in every state with every plan. So it would be very regional that those non-commissionable Medicare Advantage plans are, and they have to be labeled as such. So if you are using our Enrollment Central and you are looking at Medicare Advantage plans in this zip code, it will not show plans that you won't get paid on.
Oh, that clears it up. Thank you.
Yes.
I was getting a little
Yeah,
nervous.
we want you to get paid. We don't want you out there selling something that you won't be able to get paid on. Marty, I think I saw you throw your hand up.
Humana CSNP. Yesterday when I was enrolling somebody, something popped up in the sunscreen, Sunfire, that said, this person is probably qualified for CSNP when I was putting the drugs in. Do they have a CSNP plan?
No, but So Humana does do a script check for some of their value added benefits, Marty. So it's just letting you know that they might qualify for additional benefits based on their health condition. Humana, I actually think they might be the only carrier that does that based on the person's drug list.
Okay, so if I fill out the drug list, do I need to fill out the HRA part of it in order for Humana to look at it and qualify them, or how do I know they're actually qualified and what do I do about it?
I would definitely continue to fill out the HRA. I wouldn't skip that based on a script check. I think Humana is still going to want that. I don't think that that script check replaces anything. It just makes it a little bit more transparent.
Okay, so always fill out the HRA.
That's a good idea, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, anything else? Well, guys, we really appreciate it. Thank you so much for your hard work. Again, if you want to talk market specific, agent specific, client specific, please give myself, any member of National Contracting Center a call. We're happy to help. I hope you have a fantastic Labor Day weekend, and we will talk to you all soon.